What is SQL databases in Microsoft Fabric? Hello everyone, I'm Naval Yamal. Welcome back to my YouTube channel DataMaster and to our playlist on Microsoft Fabric. If you are new here, I create videos on Microsoft Fabric and related topics. If you haven't already, I encourage you to check out my playlist and subscribe to my channel for the latest updates and insights. So let's dive into today's topic, SQL databases on Fabric. So SQL database in Microsoft Fabric is a developer friendly transactional database based on the SQL databases. So if you're looking for a database, like if you're looking for a transactional database in Fabric, so we have an experience, we have an item called SQL database, and that uses the same Azure SQL database engine, and it is basically used for the OLTP workloads, like online transactional processing workloads, and it's easy to configure and manage. And why we use a SQL database in Fabric, like if you are looking at Fabric, we have different items there. We have a lakehouse item, have a data warehouse item as well, and we have a SQL database. Now it's still in preview, but in coming months or coming weeks, definitely you should see it generally available. So as we proceed further to our next videos, I'll be making a separate video on the difference between SQL database in Fabric as well as the warehouse in Fabric. So first, let us try to understand what is SQL database. So if you are following my playlist, I have made a separate workspace called DataMaster YouTube. In that, I have created a separate items like lakehouse, and we talked about the data pipelines, we talked about data flows gen 2, we also discussed about the task flows. I mean to say this task flow. Yeah, now let us talk about the SQL databases in this video. Let us try to do the hands-on and let us try to create an item here. I'll just hit on create a new item. So just let us scroll down, and in our store data category we have a SQL database. So we have lakehouse, we have warehouse, and now we have a SQL databases as well. So basically, if you are looking at a transactional workloads, we use the SQL database. So there is a limit for the SQL databases. So I have read it. So it's around 4 TB. If you have to store unlimited of the data, then we choose either lakehouse or the warehouse. But now let us switch to the SQL databases. It's depending on the same Azure SQL database. The engine is same. So I'd like to give a name called DataMaster DB and just hit on create. So in few seconds, a new database would be created. With the database, you also get a SQL analytics endpoint. The same we have seen it in the lakehouse as well. So when you create a new lakehouse, we get a lakehouse. With the lakehouse, we get a semantic model and we get a SQL analytics endpoint. So we have discussed that in the lakehouse video. If you have not watched it, I request you to please go back and watch it. Cool. Now you can see we got a new database. The database name is DataMaster DB, and you can see there is one default schema within that database called DBO, and we have the queries here. We can pull out or we can bring the data by using a data flow gen 2, or you can use a new data pipelines, or you can start loading the data into your database by using a sample data, or you can start developing it, start writing your own queries by using a TSQL, or you can use a connection strings to get a data into. So before we start loading the data, I would like to go back to my workspace and let me show you once the database is created. You can see SQL database. With the SQL database, you get a semantic model. The same like we get a default semantic model, very similar to what we have seen in the lakehouse. And with the semantic model, we also get a SQL analytics endpoint also. Now let me get inside a database here and let me click on the sample data. So we are looking at just loading, or we are just automatically importing the sample data. But as we progress, I'll be writing a query. We'll be loading a data with different items as well, like a data flow gen 2 and a data pipeline, and so this might take a couple of seconds. it is importing a sample data to our database. And you can see at the top here we have a database and a SQL Analytics endpoint as well. So whatever the data loaded into the database, you can start querying that by using this SQL Analytics endpoint. There are a lot of stuff here. Okay, let us wait for a couple of seconds. Yeah, it took a couple of seconds, and now you can see a new schema is ready, and that is a sales LT. It's in our database now. It acts like a schema, and within the database you have all your tables. So this is related to our Adventure Works sales dataset, so where we have a fact tables and a dimension tables and so on. So with this you can start querying the data into your database. You can just click on new, start querying it, or you can pull out from the templates as well. So once you click on a SQL query, you should see the queries that get saved into your queries tab saying the SQL query 1. You can rename it, you can rename that, you can create a duplicate out of it and so on. Let us start writing the T-SQL query, or you can use a copilot that will be coming up, where you can simply write a prompt and you get a queries written from the copilot. So I'll just say select now. I'll just say select star from your data table name. So I'll just go here, I'll copy this. Okay, let me write it from here, like sales lt dot customers. Okay, let me do it manually. Try to run this, and you should see yeah, you can see a complete customers table here. You can write all your queries, and you can even do a DML operations on top of this. And if you just click on the table, you can see the table here on the new tab, like a data preview tab is here. You can check the complete data in without writing any SQL query. You can just click on the table, you get a complete like select star from all the tables. Similar to that, you get all the results, all the columns as well as all the records. This is how your SQL database in Microsoft Fabric looks like. Now what I'll try to do is I try to create a new query. You can just hit on this new query, or you can go to these three dots and click on new query. In both the ways it works. I'll just click on create a new query. I'll start creating my own schema. I'll just say create schema, and I would say schema name as, well, let us take a test and try to run this. Cool. And cool, it should create a new schema called as a test schema. Amazing. You can see here left side you have a schema. Then your schema consists of your objects like tables, views, stored procedures, and the functions. Let us try to create a sample table inside the test schema. So I'll just say create table name. I would give a 2-level namespace, the test as a schema name, dot sample as a table name, and I would just add a few columns here. ID integer, name, string, not string actually, varchar. If it's a PySpark SQL, we can use a string, but here it should be varchar. Let me just take this and try to run it. Okay, there is a syntax error. Varchar 50, and let me try to run this. Amazing, it works now. So you can do a quick refresh by hitting on this, and inside the tables you should see a sample data. Now let me insert some records into this. Insert into test.sample. I'll just write values. One, I'll give a name, for example, novel. This. Cool. You can see one row got affected. You got a stats as well, and it shows you the query execution time and so on. As we proceed further, I'm going to explain you the performance summary and other details on the SQL. I'll just try to select star from the test.sample, that is schema name and the table name. You should see results now. Oh cool, you can see your results where you got ID and the name, and here you can see a lot of other details as well. The results, you can download this as a .xl file, or you can download it as a CSV file, or even you can download it as a JSON file. Amazing, you have so many options you can download your results with, or you can copy these results with your column names, or you can just copy the results, or you can just copy the column name as well. You can do all that. So this is how a schema is created in a SQL database in Microsoft Fabric, and you can start creating a table and inserting a records and so on. You can even use a DML operations on top of it. And once your data is ready in the SQL DB, you can start querying it by using a SQL Analytics endpoint as well. So in the next video, I'm going to show you in depth on how to start using the SQL database in Azure Fabric, with querying it, saving that queries, and looking at the performance summary as well. So I hope you enjoyed the basic of how we can start using a SQL database in the Microsoft Fabric, and the engine is same like your Azure SQL database. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe to my channel. See you again. Keep learning. Bye bye.